All right, shalom, shalom. We give all the honor, glory, and
Shalom
praises to Yahawah,
to
Hashem, Yahweh,
Yahawah, Hashem,
HaKodash.
Yahushua, Hashem, Baruch
Love our
Hadash.
elders. Love our elders, a great millstone who rule well. Sing honors to the elect. Peace and blessings be to all the sister, men, women, and children that do consist of the 1/3 shalom. Pretty much we're gonna do a video on the incident that occurred with Mike Tyson. For those of you who
Yep.
know who haven't seen it, and pretty much me and his brother we're gonna do
All I need is shoot. All I need is shoot. Can I get a favor, bro? Hey, what you doing, man? Get the fuck up out of here. I'm not playing with you. Get up out of here, bro. Hey. I don't give a fuck. Joking, family. How are you? Hey.
All right. All right.
There you go. Wood. No, Brownsville. Excuse me. Hey. Shalawam. Salute. There it is. I don't play like that, man. Nah, fuck that. Mike goes.
So yeah,
Salakia. All right, so
So
all right, so like I had to mute our mic. I had to mute our mic so that we could play the video in the background. All right, yeah, like I said, I had to mute our mic so we could play the video in the background so that there wouldn't be any echo. But like I said, as you see, me and the brother Yeromia Gabar, we witnessed this and we saw it, and I was like, yo, we gotta do a video on this, man, because what it is, you have agent provocateurs out here that's pretty much trying to come for the men of the Lord, right? And damn, hold on, did I mute the brother? Hold on, let me make sure I didn't mute this brother. Hold on, Salakia, y'all. Make sure I didn't mute this brother. Yeah, I did. Salakia.
yeah, Shalom. You hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now. Salakia, man. Go ahead. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But like I was saying, though, pretty much, yeah. So pretty much is like, that was an agent provocateur, and what they're trying to do, they're trying to make the men of the Lord look like we're savages, look like we're bad, because the incident he was standing on stage and he was being he had this bravado about himself, and then he went to the side of the stage, he pulled out a strap. And then after that, he was like, yo, I'm sorry. Mike Tyson said, come talk to me. He embraced Mike Tyson. Then after that, he loudly proclaimed, he said, Shalawam. Just like that.
Yep.
Now you couldn't really hear anything else the man was saying, right? Or what anybody else was saying, but you clearly heard him say Shalawam. Now who mainly said Shalawam? The Israelites. The
The
men of the
Lord,
Lord.
the
We can
Israelites.
say
Come.
shalom. And shalom is pretty much how you would say Solomon in the Hebrew. And it means
Come.
peace. But how you going to carry
Yep.
a gun and then at the same time say peace? It's like that's
Mm-hmm.
an oxymoron. You know what I'm saying? It's like saying that this fire is
Double-minded.
cold. Be peaceful when you pulling out a strap on someone, right? You know, so whatever you
Yep.
got out, you can figure it out. Whatever you got, brother.
All right, so I'm gonna just open up with Second Corinthians, man, because as we know, this is just another a crafty device of the wicked, man. Another crafty device that the brother said, man, to demonize us and to basically demonize his truth. That's what the most important thing is, man. You see, they set up to come against this true doctrine of YAHAWASHI, and how they do it by demonizing the men of the Lord, which are the mouthpiece of Yahushua. So if you go into Second Corinthians, and I'm just gonna jump into 2 Corinthians 2:11, and it says, "Lest Satan should get advantage of us, we are not ignorant of his devices." And this is one of his devices, his media. Okay, I'm thinking about it. How it just seems very odd how everything just came about. You know, when I saw the video, everything just the spirit screamed to me as this is a setup. This is definitely a setup, man. Because you come, first of all, they just have this brother. Well, I shouldn't even call him a brother. They just got this Negro to come in the club, very aggressive, you know, full with wrath and strife. He pulls out a firearm, and then he says, "Oh, I'm just joking," and then he ends off with "Shalawam," man. So to the spirit, that screamed the setup, man. To set up a false depiction, a false image of how true Hebrew Israelites have to conduct themselves. The scriptures tell us to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. The men are out there with Bibles, okay? We're not out there toting guns, okay? Now, you have certain camps that do that, but this is where righteous discernment comes in, okay? And many of our people, especially the 2/3, you know, they're all blinded. But
right,
overall, this is to demonize the men of the Lord and to demonize the truth. You got that?
I thought you had a precept, did you?
What's that?
I thought you had a precept.
Well, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go into the book of Ephesians because I talked about having righteous discernment. You know, discerning what's truly going on. So I'm gonna go into the book of Ephesians chapter 5, and verse 15. It says, "See then that you walk circumspectly." Okay, so you have to remain circumspect, man. Especially in these times, it tells you what it says in that in these last days there should be mockers and scoffers. Okay, there's going to be many haters of the doctrine. There's going to be many false prophets. All right, there's going to be many men posing as they're righteous men of the Lord, but they are their father the devil. Okay, so if you go into Ephesians 5:15, it says, See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time." And these are the times that we're in, okay? Because the days are evil. So this is part of the evil time, man. The demonizing of the men of the Lord. Okay? For what? For us to be delivered up into the councils, to be seen as what? Men preaching hate. So on and so forth. So we definitely have to be circumspect, man. We definitely have to be circumspect and be wise, man, and make sure that we're watching what we're doing, and make sure that we're defending the gospel in truth. Because, like you said, we're not supposed to be out there toting guns, man. We can't come in the name of Yahawashi, right? We can't say Shalawam, which means peace, but then we walk around with a Glock 40, you know. James 1:8, a double-minded man is unstable on his ways. But we have the truth, wisdom, and knowledge, understanding. Okay? So I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, that's right. Even Paul said, "If at all possible, be at peace with all men." I mean, if you ask me, it seemed like no one even antagonized him. You know, it's as if it was as if he had a personal agenda to do that. because it didn't make any
Yep.
sense. Why would you be so robust, be so aggressive in that nature, and then all of a sudden just say shalom? Like that doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense, you
man.
know. It'll be like if I had my wife and I just slapped her and I said shalom. That don't make no sense. There's no peace
Nope.
there, right? And so 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse. Let me start at 2. But I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with that confidence wherewith I think to be bold against some, which think of us as if we walked according to the flesh. For though we
Yep.
walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. All right, so and God is a spirit, Yahweh is a spirit. So
Yeah.
our strength is through the spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, which is these words, right? Because
Come.
think about it, when they was lying on Stephen in Acts the 7th chapter, all Stephen did was speak the straight truth to the point where they couldn't bear it anymore. Then they stoned him to death. Because that's going to show you the power of the Lord, the power of truth. All right,
Yep.
truth is undefeated, right? So if our weapons, so what it says, take on the shield of faith and
Mm-hmm.
the sword, which is the word. Those are our weapons. All right,
Yep.
those are our weapons. Because even during the time when Yahawashi was on the scene in the Garden of Gethsemane, and Judas Iscariot said, "The one whom I kiss, that is him, that is
That's
Yahawashi."
him.
And when he kissed Yahawashi, you know, like the Sicilians do, you know, Yahawashi won't no more,
Yep.
you know. So the centurions came up to grab Yahawashi, and Peter drew a sword and cut off Malchus' ear. Now, pause real quick. You have to be very skilled to draw your sword from the sheath and just to cut a man's ear off. You have to be very skilled. So the disciples weren't no punks, right? They weren't no
Mm-hmm.
pushovers. But what did Yahawashi say after that? He said, "He that live by the sword shall die by the
He'll
sword."
die by the sword.
So if you read the Bible and you understand the context of that, that man is not in the right spirit. Yahawashi didn't call that man, because why
Mm-hmm.
would you bring a gun to a place like that, establishment like that, be so aggressive, pull it, then draw it back, want to hug Mike
Yeah.
Tyson, then say shalom, say peace? That don't make any sense. That'll be like Peter draw his sword, call out Malchus' ear, and then say, "You know what? I apologize, peace." Even though the man didn't fire a shot. Like where in the Bible does it say that you're supposed to draw your gun, draw
Yep.
your sword, your weapon, and then say peace, right? So you could tell
Mm-hmm.
these are agent provocateurs. There's always been agents, always been people out there to try and break up
Yes.
an establishment. Like I was telling somebody at my job, I said, no matter what organization you are with, no matter what institution you are with, there are always going to be agents in there, people who try to infiltrate, you know.
Yep.
So, you know, knowing that just goes to show you, man, that we have to be circumspect, because we have to be aware that the times are evil, and they're going to
Come.
find any kind of way to come at us because we're not violent. We're not
Mm-hmm.
coming off as someone who's invading countries and that's taking over their lands, or there's killing civilians, or there's dropping bombs. We're not doing that. That's what
Yep.
Esau's doing, because their blessing is the fatness of the earth and the sword. Our blessing is the service of the angels. Our blessing is prayer. Our blessing is the Ruach HaKodesh. Our blessing is the inheritance of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's covenant. That's our
Yep.
blessing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead up.
Beautiful, man. That's beautiful too, because hey, like we just said, like I said, man, like the scriptures say, we're behind enemy lines, man. This is why this is why Yahawashi said, "What? I send you forth as sheep amongst wolves."
Right.
Okay, that's basically a representation of us being defenseless, because this is not our place. This is not our kingdom. We don't have the spiritual powers right now. We're fortifying the spirit. Okay, that's all we're doing right now. Yahawashi said, "What? Go on the highways and hedges and feed my sheep." That's all he said. He said, "Feed my sheep." He didn't say go out there and do all types of madness, man. He gave us a straight commandment: feed my sheep, to be at peace with all men, to convince the gainsayers. okay, to defend the gospel. All right. Also, when we're out there doing the work of the Lord, we have to make sure that we're unspotted, so no one has anything to say. You know, you got to make sure that you what's that word um you got you're basically a living representation of the body. Okay,
Right.
like perfect example. This is Romans. I'm gonna go to Romans 14 and 16. It says, let not then your good be evil spoken of. Okay, why? Because we're out there to do what? To feed the sheep, to be in
That's
the
it.
image of Hamashiach. That's all we're out there to do. And our spiritual weapons come from the scriptures.
Right.
That's all. We just come on, you know. So being circumspect and walking upright is how we separate ourselves from infiltrators. You know, others crept in unawares.
Right.
Those who
Others
come in,
crept in
what?
unawares. Right.
Come. You know, others that's there to what? To take away the truth from the potential elect.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And
So,
understand, Job 9:24, the earth given to the hands of the wicked. So this is Esau's kingdom as of right
huh?
now. As of right now, but we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
rule, but this is not our time to be fighting, to be, trying to be physical. Because that man had a gun on
Come.
him and he pulled it out and said, "Shalawam." Well, we don't promote violence because the Lord said, "I send you out as sheep amongst wolves."
Mm-hmm.
A sheep is not a predator. Okay, a
Exactly.
sheep will become a prey if anything. All right, so that bravado is not what Yahawashi preaches. I got a quick precept as well. This is
Come.
St. John chapter 18, verse. Let me start at 35. Let me start 33. Then
Mm-hmm.
Pilate entered into the judgment hall again and called Yahawashi and said unto him, "Art thou the king of the Jews?" Yahawashi answered him, "Sayest thou this thing of thyself, or did others tell it thee of me?" Pilate answered him, so like answered, "Am I a Jew? Thine own nation and the chief priest have delivered thee unto me. What hast thou done?" Here comes the point. Yahushua answered, "My kingdom is not of this world. If my
Come.
kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should
Mm-hmm.
not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence." So
Yep.
Yahushua even said during that time, if this was my kingdom, oh, we'll fight. But he
Mm-hmm.
had to be that sacrificial lamb first, because Yahushua had to die for our sins first so that we can get this truth to be drawn back to the
Exactly.
Father, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because then after that, when Yahushua come back, he said he's not gonna meet thee as a man. He's gonna come out with his angels, all right, with a fiery flame of judgment for all
Mm-hmm.
those who are disobedient, and to all those who have not hearkened unto the gospel. Remember, the Lord did with a balance. Yahushua was a sacrificial lamb, but remember what it said: the lion coming out of his thicket, the destroyer
Come.
of the Gentiles. So he gonna come back as a lion the next time that you see Yahushua on the scene. Okay, so as
Mm-hmm.
of right now, this isn't the time for us to be fighting and battling physically, man. You can't, because remember, Yahweh set up Esau, so it'll be as if we fighting against Yahweh.
Yeah.
We
Yahawah.
can't do
Come.
that, man. We can't do that. Matter of fact, I got one more quick precept, and I'm gonna let you
Come.
take time
Come.
out.
Yep.
This is Romans 13 and 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there was no power but of God. The powers that be, as of right now,
Mm-hmm.
are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
Come.
We're still in prison. We're still captives. We're still in captivity. So how the hell are we gonna go up against the warden? All right, the
Yep.
bailiff. How are we gonna go up against the bailiff and them, man? All right, we're,
Come.
we're not parting. Okay, so I just want to bring it out real quick. Like the powers to be right now is Esau, and
Mm-hmm.
why would we want to use Esau's blessing against our own people, let alone Esau himself. You're gonna lose.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. And another thing too is that, going on both subjects, that we were sent forth as sheep as wolves, and also we're supposed to just what? We're supposed to occupy until Yahawah sends YAHAWASHI to redeem us. Okay? So
Right.
let's go into Isaiah 41. Isaiah 41 and verse 14. And it says, "Fear not, thou worm Jacob." Now let's stop there. Yahawah called us a worm. Now you said that a sheep is not a predatory creature. Now think about a worm. A worm is defenseless. Okay,
Right. Right.
he's bare, he's naked. That's how we are in the kingdom of Esau, Edom. So can you think about it? A worm challenging a tarantula to a fight? Come on now. Isaiah 41 and 14, it says, "Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith the Lord," which is in caps, so that's Yahawah speaking. "And thy Redeemer, which is YAHAWASHI, the Holy One of Israel." Now, you mentioned that YAHAWASHI said what? That if this was my kingdom, we will fight. So if you go to the next verse, it says, 15 says, "Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth." So that means what? When YAHAWASHI comes to redeem his elect, when his king, Shalawam, Shayin Yahawah, Shalawam. So when Yahawah sends YAHAWASHI to redeem his elect, his men of the Lord, to raise up that standard, all right, because what? The kingdom is going to be placed on earth once Esau Edom falls. Okay, it tells you that in the book of 2nd Ezra. For what? For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning that followeth. So he says, Isaiah 41 and 15, "Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains, which are kingdoms, and beat them small, and shall make his chaff." Okay, yes, we're going to become a new sharp threshing instrument. But what's the key thing? He said, "Wait, I will help thee, and I will send thy Redeemer, YAHAWASHI." So that's when we can rise up and be those battle axes and weapons of war. But as you just stated, we're supposed to be coming out of these scriptures with a spiritual sword and a spiritual hammer. Okay, because this is not our kingdom. So we can't just go carnally and fight Esau with Esau's blessing, because that's basically going against Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Right. We can't pull a Nat Turner. We can't pull a Nat Turner. That's why the Lord said, "Wait ye upon me till I rise up against the prey." You know, so even pulling out the strap on your own people, like that ain't right. It's not cool at all. You know, and Mike Tyson has really evolved as an individual since his fighting days. And he was so poised, so cool. And knowing how Mike is, you had people that was around him that was willing to stand up for him. And Mike can hold his own. But Mike was cool as a cucumber. Like Elder Pastor Hart said. But the simple fact is that man pulled out a strap, and then after that entire debacle, because we couldn't really hear what was said, he loudly professed Shalawam. What? What?
Yep.
Like, stop it. Like, we don't even roll like that. Now you may see us out there on the highways and byways, and we may be boisterous, and we may use rude speech. Like Paul said, I may be rude in speech, but not in knowledge. At the end of the day, you understand what I'm saying. You understand the message. We're not out there threatening no one. We're not out there saying, "I'll beat your ass." No, we're not doing that. The Lord's gonna bring forth His judgment. The Lord because of our iniquities and our sins, the Lord put the spirit on Esau to put us into captivity. All right. So technically, we can't get upset at Esau, but because of how wicked and evil Esau is, and the hatred they have for Jacob, they show you that they hate us. Okay, cool. Well, the Lord said, "In that day, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword." Here is the patience.
God. Yep.
We have to patiently wait. So we can't take it in our own hand, because we got to wait upon the Lord to return to redeem us. We can't redeem ourselves. How the hell you going to redeem yourself when you're in prison? We're still in prison. We're still in captivity, right? So I got a quick precept. Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 14. "Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahawah, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh liveth that brought out the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahweh liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. We're in Babylon is where? In North America, known as the United States of America, right? You can find all the nations here. You can find all Israelite tribes here. This is Babylon the Great. This is a land of confusion, right? And from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. So who are those small hats over there? That's another story. In other words, that flow declaration. Now here comes the point right here about the whole incident when the man pulled out the gun, all that. Behold, I was sent for many fishers, saith Yahweh, and they shall fish them. So right now we're just fishermen. We're like the parable where it says the kingdom of heaven, is like a man that casts a broad net. He gathering all fish, but the fish that's unclean, that's not right, that's unholy, we toss back into the river or back into the bank or whatever. And the fish that's that has scales and fins, we take that in. That's like us. We're that fish. So we're just hunters, like on the Lord, not hunter, I'm sorry, fishermen. Like the Lord told the disciples, I'll make you fishers of men. We're just fishing the men. We're gathering the elect as of right now. But listen, this is the second portion of that verse. And after, this is after, it says, and after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. All right. For mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from my eyes. So at the end of the day, as of right now, we're only hunters. We're only disciples. We're only apostles. Okay. The Lord has not turned us into a sharp threshing instrument. Not yet. Okay. Because we're supposed to reprove, rebuke, admonish, and prophesy. We're not supposed to be out putting gas. We're not supposed to be out fighting everybody. We're not supposed to be out being carnal minded. Because the Lord said, what? To be carnal minded is death. You're giving Esau a reason to put some hot lead in you, to put shackles on you, and to put you back into captivity. Well, we still in captivity, but to put you back into incarceration via the right. So go ahead, you got something you want to say.
Yeah, so like you said, man, we're out there we're out there on a straight commandment to do specific things, all right, to glorify Yahawah Bashim Yahawashi and to bring the sheep back into the fold so they can receive salvation. 2 Timothy in verse 4. All right, I'm gonna jump down to verse 2. It says, preach the word, not enforce it with a gun, not to go out there in the highways with bulletproof vest on. Okay, 2 Timothy verse 4 and verse 2 says, preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering of doctrine. Okay, so we're supposed to be patient in long suffering. Okay, I'm gonna jump down to verse 5. And it says, but watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry. This is what we're to do, to make full proof of the ministry, to exhort, to reprove, okay, to convince the gainsayers, to bring Israelites into repentance.
Right.
Occupy until Yahawashi Mashiach comes, man, until he raises up to the prey.
Right.
That's all we're here to do. Okay.
Right.
We're not out there double-minded. Okay. Brothers are not out there double-minded. Brothers are not making videos of edification, double-minded, speaking about, well, when I go out, I gotta bring protection with me. Or when I go out, I gotta have a bulletproof vest. Or when I go out, I'm gonna act a fool, but then say, you know what? SHALAWAM. Come on.
right.
And the scriptures tell you that in James 1 and 8, that a double-minded man, that's double-minded. That's double-minded. You're not one-minded. You're not stable. Okay? You're weeble-wobbling everywhere. So you're double-minded and you're unstable. Okay? And as that's in the truth, we're here to what? To make full proof of the ministry, okay? To make sure that we don't blasphemize the doctrine of Yahawah Bashem Yahushai. So going back to that dude, man, even though the 2/3 and the other nations who who hate the men of the Lord anyways, all right, because we know the world hated Yahawashi first, man. So if it hated Yahawashi, it's gonna hate the men of the Lord. So they're gonna see this as, oh man, yo, we got him. You're the black Hebrew Israelites, man. Yeah. Make sure he try to shoot Mike Tyson. But those who have eyes to see, those who are circumspect, they know that hey, man, this is part of prophecy. Okay, we just got to keep doing what Yahawah Bashem Yahushai commanded us to do. All right, and that's to do the work with truth and sincerity.
And I was in the brother on GMS Watchman's comment boards, and brothers were saying things like, Mike Tyson owed them people a favor, so maybe he could have been behind it. And on top of that, somebody also said how convenient when Mike Tyson supposed to be going on the Joe Rogan show or something. So who knows? It's really y'all what they call it psyops. It's really all a psyops, man. That's really what they're doing. Psychological operations, man, on the minds of the people. But nonetheless, I have a last precept, a last couple of precepts or whatever. If you have anything else you can bring out.
Yep.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse. I'm going to start at 15 through 18. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no man remember that same poor man. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. The words of wise men are heard and quiet, more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. Here comes the point. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroyeth much good. So that man right there, they will use him as an example to try to destroy much good, because as many beautiful videos that brothers do going into their history, all right, going into who the Gentiles are in the New Testament, going into the curses that we go through, they won't advertise that. They won't proclaim it or profess that all over their airways. But then if somebody who was a quote unquote Hebrew Israelite like 4 or 5 years ago, let's say they go downtown and shoot up some small hats, they'll blast that all over the news. Oh, they were black Hebrew Israelites. But you won't mention how we go into all of the beautiful details of the Bible that show that who we are, or go into the law, or go into the 7 heads and the 10 horns. They won't display that. So they'll try and have that one man to destroy much good. But like I said, it's all about Yahawah Bashem Yahushai's mission. It's all about their plan. You still can't. It's no matter what you do, Esau. Going back to Nero, with the fire that burned down Rome, who they blame it on? They blame it on us. They blame it on us, man. So there's nothing new under the sun, like the scriptures say, man. But we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We're not ignorant of what you're trying to devise against us, man. For one, we know that Yahawah rules the left-hand side. So we already see what you're doing. So at the end of the day, man, you're not going to win. You may win many battles, but I'd be damned if you're going to win the war. You know what I mean?
You ain't going to win the war. You are not going to win the war. You can't do nothing but shoot before it, man. Can't do nothing before it. But hey, at the end of the day, we know that this is prophecy, and this is part of the long suffering and a part of the tribulation and affliction that the men of the Lord are going to have to endure. Because hey, they're going to deem us. Hey, they're going to deem us. They already have. I mean, they gave us the black Hebrew Israelite and preachers of hate, so on and so forth, man. But hey, this is something that we have to prepare for spiritually and mentally. So I'm gonna go into 1 Peter, and I'm gonna start at verse 12, and in that verse 16 as my closing out precepts. So it says, "Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you," right? Because we about to go into that, as though some strange thing happened unto you, but rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Hamashiach's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. Verse 14 says, "If ye be reproached For the name of Hamashiach, happy are ye. For the spirit of glory and of Yahweh rested upon you. And their part, he is evil spoken of, just like that psyop, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, but on your part, he is glorified. Why? Because we're making full proof of the ministry.
Right.
That's what we set out to do. And it says, verse 15, but let none of you suffer as Salakia, yep, but let none of you suffer as a murderer or as a thief or as an evildoer or as a busybody in other men's affairs. Yet if any man suffer as they say Christian, but as a follower of Hamashiach, let him be ashamed, but let him glorify Yahweh on his behalf. This is what we're here to do. This is what we're here to do. This is what we're here to do. To make full proof of the ministry, to do the work of an evangelist, to be in season, out season, reproving, rebuking, exhorting, all in Yahweh Bahashim YAHAWASHI, not being carnal, being in the spirit of peace, because that's what we're doing. We're coming out with the words of Yahweh Bahashim YAHAWASHI. We out there with the Bible. Brothers are making notifications with the Bible. The true men of the Lord, I should say. Because you have what? You have those other camps, man. That's contrary to the doctrine. But at the end of the day, only the elect shall obtain. They will be able to see, and the rest will blinded.
Right. Exactly. But we can see through it all because we have the spirit of discernment. You know, we can see between good and evil. You know, and that's why, you know, faith is so strong, because we know what's to come. We know what's to come, but at the end of the day, only thing we can do is what the Lord told us to do, and believe that everything else is going to be handled by Him, and that's what we like at, you know. So, with that being said, pray that y'all was edified and fed. Stay in the spirit, don't fear it, just endure it. Ask for forgiveness, pray without ceasing, stay humble, remain diligent. We're going to give all the honor, glory, and praises unto Yahweh,
Bahashim, YAHAWASHI, Bahashim, Rabacha HaKodash.
The Most High elders at Great Millstone taught us the truth through the Spirit, singing honor to the elect. Peace and blessings be to all the sincere men, women, and children that do consist of the 1/3, and also to the confusion of faces in the four corners of the earth. And shalom to you, Akwati, all right? And shalom to you, brother, all right? Shalom.
Hey, shalom, brother. Hey, Barakatham.
Barakatham.